assist you today?
Hi Neha, tell me about the braces in real tooth.
आपने ब्रास के बारे में पूछा, लेकिन मुझे लगता है आप ब्रेसेस यानी दांतों के ब्रेसेस के बारे में जानना चाहते हैं। रियल ट्रूथ में हम एडवांस ब्रेसेस और अलाइनर्स ऑफर करते हैं जो आपके दांतों को सही करने में मदद करते हैं। क्या आप इस सर्विस के लिए अपॉइंटमेंट बुक करना चाहेंगे?
नहीं, अभी अपॉइंटमेंट नहीं बुक करना चाहूँगा। मैं जानना चाहूँगा कि रियल टूथ में कौन कौन से डॉक्टर्स काम करते हैं।
रियल ट्रूथ में हमारे पास 22 डेडिकेटेड डॉक्टर्स हैं जो वेरियस डेंटल स्पेशलिटीज में एक्सपर्ट हैं। हमारे डॉक्टर्स जनरल डेंटिस्ट्री, कॉस्मेटिक डेंटिस्ट्री, ऑर्थोडोंटिक्स और ओरल सर्जरी जैसे फील्ड में काम करते हैं। क्या आप इन डॉक्टर से मिलने के लिए अपॉइंटमेंट बुक करना चाहेंगे?
हाँ, मैं अपॉइंटमेंट बुक करना चाहूँगा टूथ वाइटनिंग के लिए। आई थिंक ऑफर भी तो चल रहा है आप लोग का कोई।
बहुत अच्छा, आपने टूथ वाइटनिंग के लिए अपॉइंटमेंट बुक करना चाहा है और आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा। हमारे पास अभी एक स्पेशल ऑफर चल रहा है। टूथ वाइटनिंग हमारे बेसिक डेंटल सर्विसेज में से एक ही है जिस पर आपको 50% का डिस्काउंट मिलेगा। ये ऑफर प्योर 1 महीने के लिए वैलिड है। चलिए मैं आपसे अपॉइंटमेंट के लिए कुछ डिटेल्स ले लूं। सबसे पहले आप अपना नाम बता सकते हैं?
Hi guys, in the last video, if you remember, I talked about what are AI agents and how does AI actually work. On continuing on that topic, I would like to, in this video, tell you how I built an AI voice agent using VoiceFlow and Make.com. Now, these platforms are very common, and for voice agents, actually, I tried many platforms which many people have actually used, but what I found was that none of these platforms actually helped me to make the perfect AI agent. But in VoiceFlow, I pretty much achieved my aim. So let me share it to you how I made it. So guys, let us start with our workflow. First, I would like to log into VoiceFlow, and so why am I choosing VoiceFlow for building this particular voice agent is because I tried almost all the voice agent building platforms available on the net, and none of them suited me. I tried 11 Labs the first time, and it is great. 11 Labs has great voices, great settings and everything, but the workflow is a bit traditional because they still use single shot prompting, and we can only provide the user's prompt, the system prompt, to the given AI agent, and it works on that only, which is why there is a lot of chances to make errors because this is a bit complex workflow, and that is why the agent cannot handle a single prompt, and it tends to make a lot of errors. Again, same problem I faced with many platforms like this, and I tried Vappy also, and in Vappy what I found was that there is an option to make workflows, but still that relies on the prompt which I gave to it, and collaborating it was still not able to perform very well. But here in VoiceFlow, what is great is that you can actually build your workflows, and the agent will perform that workflow only step by step, where you can control every movement of that agent according to your wish. So it tends to make very less errors on its own, and it stays within what you have coded or what you have asked it to do. So let us start with it. So first I would like to sign in. You can choose get started free if you are doing it for the first time. So after you sign in and everything, they'll ask you some questions, and then you'll appear at this page, my workspace. You can click on new agent. The project name can be real truth. Okay, so basic template. So yeah, it will appear something like this. You just click it cancel. This will what you'll appear. So first start button, and then what the functionality of this agent is going to be is that it can perform two functions. First, it can provide information about anything that the user asks for, the caller asks for, and second, it can set the appointment if the caller wishes to set an appointment at real time. Okay, so I'll go and click on agent because this agent is a new tool which these voice flow people have launched, and it is a great functionality because you see, well, normally it would have taken many layers of code to actually encode what this agent can do with a single prompt. So I just click on create agent, and then I'll add a prompt. I'll go and grab one of my prompts. Okay, so I took on my liberty to write this prompt for this agent, and now you see here this role. In the role I have written that you are a helpful Indian, because Realty is an Indian company. Helpful Indian inbound voice customer agent, a witty sales representative, and a great information provider. So three things I have asked it to do. First is that it is a voice customer assistant, so that it can tailor its responses on its own. A witty sales representative. And if I want, I can put that in bold. I'm sure you would know that this is a sign for bold and this is a sign for heading. Hashtag. A witty sales representative and a great information provider. So using adjectives like this actually helps this agent. Research says that using adjective helps this agent, or helps whatever instructions you are providing, and the agent can work better on these instructions when you use adjective to describe it. So great information provider for a dental company named Realty. And I wanted to speak both languages, English and Hindi, simultaneously. So English, and of course depending on your country of client and everything, you can tailor this according to the client's name. So it is a voice agent. I do not want it to speak endlessly, and so that the caller gets bored. So I 2 to 3 lines depending on the depth of question. And yeah, for doing emphasis on some line, you can capitalize it or use the bold part. Then the task is providing information about Real Truth and its various services, as well as the doctors asked by the user, information provider. And the role, the task, the actual task is you have to convince the user to book an appointment with Real Truth. This is because this is the main goal of this inbound voice agent. Yeah, so this is the context which I've been providing. At Real Truth, there's an offer, which is a lucrative offer for people. 15% off on all basic dental services for a month. These are the services. And yeah, this is everything. And one more offer, free consultation before 11th May 2025. And yeah, I have encoded it to say it is a personalized offer, so that the conversation rate increase. So and after that I have written the key points, 1 2 3 4 5. This is what I want, and again I have used the bold to emphasize that if you do not know something, say you do not know in a polite way. This line is very important in an agent, because what happens is that your agent can misspeak many information and create information on its own, and you do not want that in a voice agent. That is why I recommend that you use this line. Again, I have used emphasis to make sure that it provides crisp but accurate answer without compromising integrity. So this is the instruction. I can name it by clicking here. Info after that, I can add paths to it. Paths means that it will check for intent of the user. For example, so if I enter to find an appointment, so this is when LLM description is the description I want to provide to the agent to make sure that it identifies this intent. This intent is that trigger this path when okay, so this is what happens when the user wants to set an appointment. You can also add required variables. We'll talk about that in I'll set up a next agent. So this is one path. I can also add second path in conversation. If user does not want to set an appointment, user does not want to set an appointment, you can trigger this path. and after this part I'll add one more thing. So, and of course, because it is an information agent, you want to have access to the knowledge base. Now this is the default description for voice flow, but you have to edit this. Yeah, this is our agent, current agent, info provider. Speaking of knowledge bases, I would like to take you to, and you see here there are many options. First is the agent part, where you can build the workflow which you have, see all the settings of the workflow which we are building, and this is the workflow. You can build various workflows and then connect it to one another as well. Our knowledge base currently, which is empty, we can update it. You can add data source, you can use URLs, sitemaps, you can use also files, PDF, text, and you can also write the plain text. I can just go to this website. This is the website, and I would like to take this URL. Now you have two options. Extract data from a website where it does not extract almost all the information and some information is left. You can only write the main URL and it will just scroll the pages on its own. However, this website has many pages, right? So home, about us, services, and everything. So, and to extract all of these pages, this voice flow cannot do a good work. So for that, there is another website, Firecrawl. So when you go on Firecrawl, after you sign in and everything, you'll get on to this page. And Firecrawl is basically a website in which you can input a URL and it will scroll all the pages through it and give you the entire transcription of the pages, what the text has already written. You can download it and then input it through wherever you want. So you can scroll a single URL, scrapes. If I input the websites, the RealTools website on this one, it will actually scroll through each page separately and then input and output me the given I want to use the map option for this agent here, where if I input the RealTools website and I click on run, what happens is it'll just scroll through all the URL, the web pages URL, the sub pages which are there in the website, and it'll provide me the list of all the sub pages. I'll just copy that list of sub pages and then paste it in VoiceFlow. So if just copy them, go here, and I just paste it. So right now it takes a little time to load, and if you click on import, you click on import, and 139 URLs are imported here. These are all the sub pages which are there in the RealTools website. So you have a knowledge base of 139. Now you go on to the workflow again, double click, and you are here. This is our info provider. So yeah, this was our agent, and I'll click on this one, agent, and I'll create another one. This is my appointment agent, which sets an appointment for me. Appointment. Okay, so again, this is access to knowledge base. I'll edit this description and I'll get the prompt which I have to put in this instruction. So this is my entire prompt. The role is that you are an expert Indian voice appointment setter for RealTools, and again we have to provide it just a little bit motivation, if you will, for getting the right information. We are counting on you to get accurate as well as many appointments for RealTools. You have access to the chat history. And why am I providing with the chat history is this VF memory. So if you don't know how to put this chat memory, just put up any variable chat history, and then if you click on this bracket, all the variables which you have will appear, and VF memory is the one which stores the memory information of all the chats which have happened till the agent. So it has access to all that information. And in the conversation, if any time the user has provided any personal information about himself or herself, it'll store that information. So if the user has already provided with some or all details previously in the conversation, no need to ask for it again, because it is going to ask the personal details. And if the user has already provided the personal details before in the conversation, there is no need to ask for it again. And again, for providing emphasis, speak each and every word, including numbers and dates, clearly and properly, such that user understands every word of it, be it English or Hindi. Okay, so the task is to ask for these information. If you'll see, I have put this in bracket, and the way I want it to be stored, I have written it beside it. So phone number of the patient, I have now you see I could also write that make sure it is a 10-digit number, which it is also great, but to provide it with a bit more formality and motivation, I have presented it as a formal question for the agent. So date of appointment, again, convert that date into a day and make sure that the date does not fall on the day of the week and the clinic is closed. So now I can also write that check the knowledge base for when the clinic is closed and blah blah blah. But for checking the knowledge base, it takes a lot of time, and that time interval makes the caller bored, because if for asking the date of appointment has to go and check the knowledge base, it seems very redundant. So I have also already provided with the day the clinic is closed, and I have told it to convert this date told by user into this format, because then it has to store the information somewhere, and if each time it is using its own different format, it does not work and it will seem too random. That is why I provided it with the format to store it, and I've given it some examples so that it knows exactly how to do it. Second July 25, if any of the information missing, answer according to tenant. And yeah. And again, I have given example of a Tuesday also, and this date is a Tuesday. As a caller to set an appointment for another day. Okay, we can add another line that do not tell this format of story to the caller. Only ask for the date. You can add this line for a backup so that it does not make mistakes. Time appointment. So yeah, you can also add for time of appointment, and again I can also write that check from knowledge base the timings of the clinic, but because I already know it and it is not a very big deal, I just went to the website and saw the timings of the clinic and wrote it, so that the agent does not have to check knowledge base each and every time the caller asks for the timings. And preferred branch of now this information I have asked it to check from the website, extract from the knowledge base. Why? Because I wanted it to give it the right information, and I could also write, because Realty is a local clinic and it only has 4 branches in Lucknow. I could also write the 4 branches itself, but if you have another client which has many branches and it is updating continuously its website, you have to extract from knowledge base which is being updated regularly, right? So inform the caller about the existing branches. In short, why in short? Because the branches have the whole address. I can also write, for example, if there are 4 branches of Realtor and user inputs a branch which is not in the present branches of Realtor, so it will tell the user that no, it is not. Check with the knowledge base. The response of the caller matches with the available branches of Realtor. If not, ask the caller to choose from the available branch. Yeah, so the dental service, last is the dental service needed by the caller. If the service chosen by the caller is not discounted, remind him or her that the chosen service is not discounted, but still encourage him or her to set the appointment. Make sure that it is the dental service that the user has asked for. So why have I added this line is, for example, it can sometimes hallucinate that if a user says something and it converts it to a service of its own by analyzing it some different way. So to stop it for hallucinating, I've added this line. After taking all info, confirm that you have got it right at once. So while I was building it for the first time, I only wrote details, confirming the details. But what happened is it was confirming the details after each and every taking the information, which was very boring. So I have added this line at once after taking all the information. So then again I have added cell while speaking numbers. Make sure to say the numbers clearly such that they are clearly audible to the caller. Again I have provided the context, the same thing, key points. The key points are almost the same. And after that, again I told you that this line is necessary to add. Do not say anything if you do not know it or have a confirmation from the knowledge base if you do not know something. Say you do not know it. So this is the whole line. So when you use VF memory, it will say that agents use memory by default, meaning the VF memory variable isn't required. But you see, it is actually required because I tried it without using the VF memory and it did not work. It did not have access to the whole memory, which is why I had to add this so that it can get a clear context. Again, I can write paths now, and then I can create some variables to store name of user, name of the patient, if I may add, because sometimes the caller who calls does not actually want to set an appointment himself. He can use it to set the appointment of his daughter or father or something. Now what I have done is that I have created a variable name offer service where it can recognize that if the service is included in the offer or not. Again, here if you may have noticed that the dental service needed by the caller, I have inputted that if the service chosen by the caller is not discounted, reminder that the chosen service is not discounted, but still encourage him or her to set the appointment because it has an offer, particular offer of 15% off on certain services, and if the user enters the service out of that offer, it will inform the user that okay, this is not in the included offer, and if you still want to set an appointment, I'll set the appointment for you. That is why I'll have to create two paths. One path is for if the service chosen by the user is in the discounted service, and another path for if the service chosen by the user is not in the discounted services. So in this path, I can add this LLM description that appointment setting and the service is included. So preferred service of the caller, which has discount or offer. Or offer, yeah. These will be my required variables, and again I can add another part, appointment details of fun appointment details. Add another part of fun. Trigger this part. Just copy this information. Trigger this part. Means I provide all personal information, but the one setting at the service is not included in the offer. Because I'm using offer very much, I can for appointment, I can add the variable which I've already created here, because these variables get stored in the workflow uh, system. So I can add name, in branch I can edit it such that it does not store the whole address of the branch, rather it only stores the preferred branch of near to the corner. I can edit it such that store only branch address. Yeah. Branch, and last but not least, I can create a new variable for no offer service. Service that for related service. Create this variable. Yeah, and we can also add dental service. To make it clear, dental service. Yeah, that is pretty much 6 variables. Yeah. No offer appointment, running here. And I'll write another part, no appointment trigger. So yeah, no appointment, offer appointment, no offer appointment. These are all the 3 paths which this agent will follow. You can edit this AI model also. Currently GPT-4o Mini is being used. Now GPT-4o Mini is a great model, it's a very fast model, but some drawbacks is that it cannot handle this big prompt, and sometimes it can make errors which it sometimes can make and sometimes it cannot make, which is relatively worse compared to if it is making an error all the times. Because for example, if it does not make an error while you are testing it, and if it makes the error in the production phase, while it in the deployment phase, then what will happen is that it will decrease the conversion rate, which is not good in the business area. That is why you need to set an AI model which can handle these big prompts and which can handle the information which you are able to provide, which has a greater mind of its own. So in case of GPT-4o Mini, you can keep using GPT-4o Mini because it takes less credits. I can use Claude 3.5 Sonnet also, because I currently have a free trial going on because I just signed in a few days back. I don't have access to all the models, but Claude 3.5 Sonnet is included. This temperature, you can choose. Temperature means that how amount of determination you want to have, how amount of accuracy you want to have in your agent. So if the temperature is on the lower side, on the 0 side, your agent will be more accurate. It will provide good information, but it will not have the creative touch, and it will just be little monotonous. But if you put it towards one side, what will happen is that it will become very creative. It will use a more human-like approach, but the accuracy will decrease. So it is good to keep it in the middle, 0.5. But because it is an appointment setter, I do not want it to have a lot of creativity. I just wanted to set an appointment. I'll place it towards the 0 side. 0.35 is, I think. Max tokens, how much I wanted to speak, I can reduce it to 1. So yeah, this token thing I wanted to tell you for the new people who are there in the field of AI. What happens is that AI does not take the input in the form of words; it converts these words in the form of tokens. So, for example, if the word is a big word, speaking, for example, if some agents can convert it into speak a token and ing another token. So and it can divide the words into small tokens, and then it stores the token in its database. So it does not store the whole sentence or a whole paragraph or a whole word. It only stores the token which it has divided the words into. So real truth is not a common word. So if when it is not a common word, it breaks it down in the form of tokens. So real and truth, and these are the tokens which get stored in the agent. And do you know this space is also a token too? Yeah. So this is how the agent stores it, and approximately, according to research, it is not a very valid assumption, but assuming that one word see one word contains about 1.33 tokens. So uh, for example, if there are 1,000 tokens, there are 3/4 of the words, so 750 words in 1,000 tokens. So it is approximately that, uh, and that is why if you go here and tokens, so 136 tokens means that it will say around I think 90 or 100 words max to max. So yeah, this is it, because I do not want it to speak so much. Again, speaking too much by the agent bores the other person. That is why you have to reduce these max tokens. Just 100%. Yeah, so this will be the prompt settings. I can. So after making these two agents, I would like to start building the whole skeleton of the voice flow. Before building, you have to imagine how the voice call will look like. First, if because we are building it for an inbound call, the caller will call real2, and an agent will pick up, and the caller will say, "Hi, I wanted to set an appointment in real2, or I wanted to know about real2," and then just as the caller has picked up, it will say a message, right? So welcome to real2, and it will introduce its name and everything. So the agent message, that is why the agent first message should be that hello, welcome to the real mission. Neha. Okay. You can write and after writing by your own the introduction message, you can use variant option to create many variants of this particular message, and the user will not get stuck on this particular message, and then it can say any of these 6 1. So welcome to real to Sneha, what can I assist you with today, how can I assist you with today. All of these sound pretty good. Now after this message, I can what I can do is that I can use this listen option. Whenever you are using this listen option, there are 3 options. Either you can use buttons. Button is only for buttons you can use for 2 things. First, while building a chatbot, you can use buttons where it shows where the user does not have to type it's his response. You can use buttons to indicate the choice which the user has. You can also use buttons. Let's see. You see, you can use buttons for chatbot like this. So you can add, you can write something, and let's say the agent will say that so that you can click on. Yeah, so you can use this button for various, again, for giving a choice to the user so that he or she does not have to type every time. Here we are not using it because we are building a voice agent and we want the caller to speak. In listen, again you have buttons. You can capture the user's what user's response in a particular variable. So if I use this, I can store entity. So entity means that if the user has said a whole line of which has many little bits of information, it can use this entities to store various parts of that information into various variables. So for example, if I say that I want to set my appointment on 5th May 2025 at 5 p.m. in Gomti Nagar branch, and my phone number is this. So I have inputted various information into a one sentence, my user's response, and when I use this entity button, it can actually extract these entity. If I click on the plus button, I click on create entity, I can write this entity name. So name, I can use data type. So I choose name. Yes, I already have. So I can choose this entity, and it will store my particular name out of that whole thing, so it can extract little bits of information. But again, we do not need this because we have an agent for that. The third is which we are actually using is the choice. Here what I am doing is that the inbuilt LLM of VoiceFlow identifies the intent of the user. So for example, when the user calls, an assistant answers the phone and says, "Hello, welcome to Real Truth. I'm Mia. How can I help you today?" After that, if the user says, "I want to set an appointment," this is the intent of the user, that he wants to set an appointment. Another intent of the user can be that I want to know about this is a service. So this is the user that he wants to know information about this dental service. And because it is an appointment setter full information agent, I think that there are only two triggers, two intents that it can actually take. It does not need any more intent. And if the user enters an intent out of these two, the agent can say that please enter a query that is relevant to us. So if someone calls, I dials a wrong number and says I want to buy a cake. So if he thinks that it is a cake shop, the agent will say that please tell me how I can assist you with the dental needs. I do not have information on this particular query. So the user will know that it has dialed your wrong number, and the agent only has functionality up to the dental services. Okay. So the first trigger I can add, it has already inbuilt trigger. None. Can add a create intent where it says that appointment set trigger this intent. Yeah, so I can click on generate and I can click on generate 10 sample phrases. Meeting can also be good. Some people use meeting in place of need to fix a time for my appointment. I want to make a reservation. Reservation is also a good one. Can I set an appointment for a future date? But can I set a meeting? Book a slot for appointment. Yeah, so all these I can generate more phrases. I appreciate your help. I'm interested. Need to fix a time. So all these work, and you see, first it was red, orange, and now it is green, which means that these utterances are powerful, and Now, it does not necessarily mean that when the user says exactly these words that will act on this intent. No, it is actually a rough idea about which it gives to the LLM to identify the intent of the user. Okay. Yeah, you can create this intent. You can use another intent. Trigger this intent. Simple. You can write I want to real tooth. So I can also add this offer real tooth its services as well as its current offers. Yeah. So I want to know about real tooth. In our details video, can you provide information on real tooth? About real tooth. Another can be that tell me about offers. Promotions at real tooth, information about real, what's new at real tooth. Can you tell me more? Okay. So I can also ask that I need information I want to so right I am into cleaning so many again utterances. There's unlimited utterances which you can edit. Can you provide details of dental crowns, dental whitening procedure, dental fillings, orthodontic services, TMJ treatment, oral surgery, periodontal disease, veneers, risk of wisdom teeth, pediatric dentistry services, I'm in tooth pain, I got root canal, latest offers, another 20. So these are all just covering all bases. There is nothing very important here. So all these details are created. And I can also add no match. So if a user does not, if user enters a query outside of these intents, I can re-prompt it to say that I can re-prompt it to say that please enter a dental query which please enter a dental query for which I can answer for. So I can write. It is good to read it once so that it does not say anything that you do not want it to say. So no match again. If you want to if you wanted to follow the path, you can also click here. The path you can click here and it's being overshadowed by this. No problem. And if the user does not say anything for say 10 seconds in activity time 10 seconds. 10 seconds. You can say that anyone though you should not hear. Yeah, so I think this is it. Not need to add anything. Yeah, so what will happen is if for example by mistake the user enters something that you do not want, that it is not related with appointment setting or info provider, it will go in no match. And then if the user enters again something related to info provider or appointment setting, it will go to that. So when you click on start means when the call is picked up, this will be the answer. And if the user wants appointment setting, you can go place the arrow here, connect here, and the user wants information. Yeah, you can also color this arrow. Color can be blue for info provider, and it can be green for the appointment setting. This information not very important. After that, if it wants to set an appointment, I can direct it to this page. And after for end conversation, I'll add another thing. Talk message. So here it's when he does not want any information. Thank you for calling Real Truth. We hope, I hope, sorry, I hope you have a pleasant day. Okay, so yeah, I can generate various variants. So I can generate this 5 variants here. Thank you for connecting Real Tooth. Have a great day. We appreciate your call. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for reaching out to Real Tooth. Wish you a very pleasant day. Thanks for your call. Have a great day ahead. Yeah, so I can place this here. This will be the end response which the agent says before ending the call. So I can say talk here. Just go to logic here and I'll place end. And then connect this to this. So agent ends in connection. It ends the call by itself only. So again, appointment setter. I can place this green because green is for appointment setter. Yeah. So if the user inputs these details, successfully sets the appointment details, I can now this is the main part of building a voice agent where we are going to use APIs. This is the main part where I am going to send this information to where I'm going to send this information to make.com. I'm going to tell you about it just now. And after I send this information to make.com, it will have the connection to my Google Sheets account, and then it will set my appointment there only. It will input this information, it will add a row to Google Sheets, and my information will be stored in the Google Sheet. And here post, I can for a variable, I can go to make.com, click on login, you can click on get started free. So yeah, this is my account. I can click on create a new scenario. Yeah, so and here in the plus you have to click webhook. Webhook means that webhook is actually a connector which connects two websites or two platforms, two no-code platforms to each other, where you can either send in the information or you can get the information or you can do both. It is a very accessible tool. Now here webhook, you can trigger this scenario when the webhook comes. So trigger when webhook receives the data. You can add a webhook and say Real Truth Again, nothing is very important, so save. This will, here it will generate the webhook. You can copy this address to the clipboard and go here. And so now post, there are see many options. So post webhook means that you are posting this information to the web, you are sending some information to the webhook, and get type means that you are actually getting some information from the webhook from outside some place. So here we are using post because we are actually sending this information which we are acquiring from the caller, and you can use parameter. The parameter you can name variables, or better yet, you can use body form data and name, and which we have already done. Value, which will be our variable name, plus phone. Time. You can add date, time, phone name, and you can add branch. Offer service. Input variable offer service. Yeah, offer service, and another. Yeah, so I think that is it. So in this API, what I'm going to, because I've connected to offer appointment details, what is going to happen is that it will take information from this offer appointment details, which this path, all the variables which we have set, it will just take that variables and then it will send this variables to make.com, which I'm going to tell about in a minute. And this make.com file is going to upload this variables in my Google Sheets. You get it? So let me do some other things. Now you see, when you go to make.com, make is now listening for data and will determine the data structure for the incoming data automatically. So first you have to send a trial data for it so that it can be successful and determine the data structure. That is why we have inputted the keys here. These are the keys which we inputted. So for service we can write mining, or you can write scaling. Branch you can write time as 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Date as 01 6 25 0. Name as Shivansh. Okay, so send. And you see 200 means successful code. Yeah, successfully determined. Yeah, successfully determined, and save, and you can add another module. And now I'm adding flow control. I'll tell you why. Router. The service is included in the offers, so it will send this webhook, and I'll use the same webhook for if the service is not included in the offer, because that also needs to be saved. I'll save it in a different Google Sheet, but I'll use the same webhook. This router is why. So first in this, you see what happened? I click on plus here. I click on Google Sheets. It has various integrations which you can use for various CRMs. You can add a row, or you can update a row, or you can bulk add rows, mini rows. In bulk update rows, you can search rows for that is why we have the get function. You can search rows and then you can send to the webhook, and then that webhook will send that information to voice flow which the agent says. So you can use it for exactly other way around as well. Clear a row, delete a row, and many functions. You have to use add a row. I corrected this to my Google connection, my ID, so it already has all the sheets which I have. Just take you. So this is my sheet, related appointment sheet. I have created two sub sheets here in this whole folder only. This is for offer appointment if the service is in the offer, and this is no offer appointment. Two sheets. So basically, I had two CRM files. Okay, so going back to make.com, I can search by path, my drive. You get to choose. So now it will search the spreadsheet ID. Real to appointments. Sheet name is offer appointment. This automatically found the hidden. So name. Now you see, I because of the data structure which I inputted in the webhook, it has access to it. So I can input name here. Phone name, I can write this date here, time here, lunch and service, which is the offer service. So yeah, this can be everything. Unformatted, no, formatted nicely. I can set up a filter as well. I can use exist. So because I'm using two variables, offer service or no offer service, I use either one of them. That is why I can use exist. So if offer service exists, go on this route, and if it does not, I'll go on this route. See, add another one here, the second route. Again, add a row. Same everything, but this time in spreadsheet, spreadsheet ID related to the appointment. Sheet name. Now I'll choose no offer appointment because I want to store it in the no offer place. Search for everything. Name I can write again same thing. Date, time, branch, and I leave this service because I'll send another webhook which redetermines this whole structure, and in place of offer service it will now be no offer service. Let me show it to you. Just show it to you. If now first I'll go to development, I'll click on again the same thing, API, and post URL, body, everything will be the same. Another phone. Time, day, this, and another branch. Branch. Now for service. Yeah, no offer service. Value will be no service. Yep. So this is it. I can use send last variables, and in no offer service I can write implants because implants was not included in the offer. Send. Now, why did it show bad request 400? Because I did not click on redetermine data structure. When I click on redetermine data structure, now it will send. Now if I send it again, use last values and send it again, now it is successfully determined. Now if I see here, if I go here, and like I said, it shows no offer service. Everything rest is the same. Everything is the same. If you want, I can rename the save, and I can set up a filter. Again, the same filter. Filter will be exists. So exist will be if no offer service exist, you go on this one. Okay, so yeah, this is made. And if I go back here and I send this one, oh, I have not saved it yet. This. So this has been saved, and I can click on run immediately. Save. Yeah, so if I try again now, okay, and it has worked, and if I see, yeah, see, Shivansh, phone number, date, time, 8 o'clock, Hazratganj, scaling. So now again if I go to here, no for appointment, and I'll send the last values I have including implants 200. Okay, and now you will see in the no for appointment I have this. Now why this time is appearing like this, I wanted to tell you guys, because sometimes what Google Sheets does is that it formats it on its own. I do not like this very much because if the user enters 8 o'clock and it inputs this also, the whole point of CRM is lost. That is why many people do not use Google Sheets as CRM. There are many platforms of you can use as CRM like HubSpot and Airtable and many platforms which people use. This is a trial experiment again for RealTooth as well. So that is why I am using Google Sheets. But if you have to import CRM, you can use CRM, because here check HubSpot. There is a HubSpot CRM in which there are a lot of options to do. So you can add members to a list. There it should not be an error about the time and everything. But just to make sure, you can add this. This, and now I don't think in Gate also it makes sometimes error that it divides the values itself, because the Google Sheet thinks it's a division problem. Like this. Now it should not happen that way. again. Just forgot to save it. Scenario was saved. And now if I check again, now it is correct. See. Just yeah, so you can edit it like this for temporary use, but I'm sure that when you will work for a client, this will not happen because most people do not use Google Sheet as CRM. They use specific softwares for CRM like HubSpot and Airtable, like I already said before. This problem sometimes arises. Yeah, so this was the integration of make.com to it. I can use a failure path also. So if for example you do a technical error, also you can do failure path. If you do a technical error, this fails. So I have a backup plan. Hook message. Your successfully set. Appointment confirmed. You are all set for appointment. Done. And the failure path message. I'm sure you might get the hang of all of it by now. Appointment successfully set. Here I am sorry to say. I'm sorry to say issue setting. While setting your appointment, so I can also write if you this variant I regretted from that there is a technical problem. Unfortunately, there is a technical problem. Most of the time it works actually, it's not so very big deal, but sometimes, for example, if your subscription plans runs out or something or the other, it is nice to have a fallback. Talk message again. Just you can just duplicate this one. You can just duplicate this and stick it like this. Voila. Same thing here, duplicate it, place it here and connect it with this. So this is exactly the same thing. Yeah, 2 fallbacks for 2 different appointment setting. Appointment is successfully set. Now I can write talk message. Can I help you further? Yeah, so these all can be the variations which you can input. And Then again, for listen, you can add choices, triggers. Because we have already made a trigger, it will be easy for us. Info provider, if wants to know about appointment setting. So this is the button variable if you want to add here, but we do not want. So you can also add required entities. If you remember, we created entities. Info provider appointment setting, you can add no match. Can add no match. So it always helps to have a no match because you never know what the user can enter. So you can add I am sorry, I am unable to assist you on yeah. So this sounds good. 5 variants. No match, you can also add no reply. Are you there? Hello, are you present? Hello, are you around? Is anyone there? Can you hear me? Do you read me? Again, activity time 15 seconds. Yeah, or because it is the middle of conversation, I can add 10 seconds. No problem. Listen for intents. Sounds good. Yeah, I'm sorry to say there is this technicality issue. How can I help you further? Your appointment is successfully set. How can I help you further? So technical issue. How can I help you further? So all these blocks connect to this at the last. I can also add one more trigger of end conversation. If user wants to end the conversation and he has nothing else to ask, so that is not set and appointment. I can add a sample phrase as so it will be the answer to the question, how can I help you further? No. Good. No. It and maybe you can just write and save. Now I am finished chatting. No, think you are done. No, I have said all I need to know. No, that's all for now. No, I have got nothing else to add. No, I'm ready to end this conversation. Now I'm content with where we have got into. Yeah, so create intent and conversation. Sounds good. Now if again the user wants to set the appointment, I can transfer it to here and take it to green. Setting. If wants to provide information, I can take this arrow to here and change the color to blue. Info provider, and if he wants to end the conversation, I can take it to here and transfer it here. This also. Yeah, so it seems good. I guess. All bad, success, failure, can help you further. Can help you further. I'm sorry to say, technical issue, everything. So I can convert this to red for technical issue. I can also change the color of this. Right click on this and block color. Red, blue color, green, can I help you further? No. End conversation. In place of this end conversation, I could also add the existing no. So I can, if you still want, I can add no. Everything which we need. And it can also be one possibility that if the user says yes. Now, what the great deal is that info provider works if the user says that he wants to ask some query, and if the user just says yes, the info provider won't work. That is why it is good to add another yes statement and add a line where you can talk how So, can I help you? Yes or no question. And how can I help you? So here I can for my system with any way I can aid you. I'm going to support your dental care. What can I do to assist your dental needs and everything. Okay, so again I'll use now I can use this listen option for choice capturing, or what I can do is that I can copy this choice button, I can duplicate it and stick it here. Okay, and I just end the no, yes, everything. So it is just as it is, and I can connect this end conversation to here. No match and info provider, I can connect this back to here. I can change it to green, oh sorry, blue, and appointment setter. I can change this to green. Yes, yep. Yeah, and I think this will be the whole thing. I've added various steps for fallbacks and which are not required if you are building it for the first time, and and if anyone wants a safe brain for just testing it stuff. But because I'm building it for production purposes, I'll not leave out anything. So if I'll go through it once again, first the user calls and agent answers it. Hello, welcome to Real2. I'm Neha. How can I help you? If the user says that I want the cake, it goes into no match and it says that how can I help you with your dental related needs. And it will just go in a loop till it matches with appointment setting or no info provider. If it wants info about particular offer, service or Real2, it goes into this info provider. You are a helpful agent and it does all this function which it has to do. And then it goes to, if the caller wants to set an appointment, it goes to here, appointment setter. If wants to end conversation, it goes to here. Achha, okay, and I can also edit this end conversation. Ask if there is anything that you can help the user with. If the user says no, trigger this event. Simple. Okay, yeah. You see one more thing. You'll see the Zendesk. Zendesk is also a CRM, and you can add various things. This is already inside inbuilt voice flow where you can connect your Zendesk API to your. You can also use tools inbuilt in appointment setter also. Like for example, I built API after taking the intent from the agent. I could also edit it such that I could build API tool here. Create API tool. I can add this parameter, this webhook here, and I can add the header or parameters which I want. And yeah, and the whole thing which I inputted the variables, I can input the variables here and everything. This can also be the step you can use. This is actually one of the recent advancements of the voice flow people. They have recently added this agent function around 1 or 2 months back, and it is a great function which competes directly with the agents of anything. Yeah. So this will be it. And after appointment setting, it goes to if it is included in the offer, it goes to offer appointment details, and then it goes to post URL where it posts the information here also, where if the user chooses a service which is not linked to the offer, it goes here, not linked to the offer, and success, failure, again fallback scenarios. Success, your appointment successfully set and everything, some technical issue, and each all these fours combine here, after which the agent asks, can I help you any further? Yeah, so okay, so while all these converge here, and here we have provided the user multiple intents which he can choose. So if you see, I forgot this, taking this no conversation also to thank you Real2, have a nice day, and yeah, it will do that, and after it says that, it will end the current agent in the current state. And if this says yes, it can again go back to the loop where how can I help you, end conversation, and here again and again and again. So this is the whole conversational workflow which I think is required for building an agent. Yeah, so I guess this was the whole process. And this voice customer agent, let me tell you that it is not a very simple task to make such an agent, because you'll go to voiceflow and you'll just write all of these things. You need to understand how all this works in the behind, because like I talked about in the knowledge bases, again what knowledge base actually is a vector store which stores all that information which you just entered, the URLs which you just entered, into its all key data points, and it just chunks out of it. So let me show it one more time to you. This knowledge base which we went, knowledge base, now if you go to settings of voiceflow, you will see that this AI model, what is this Cloud 3.5 Haiku doing in this knowledge base, you might be asking. So this Cloud 3.5 Haiku is doing nothing but just converting this converting that information which was stored in the database, the vector database, converting this to the answer to a user's query. So let me share that to you with an example. For example, user wants to know about implants in real tooth. So implants in real tooth, what happens is that it converts that implants to real tooth into a vector data point, and it searches in the knowledge database, which is not existing in the form of text. It is existing in the form of vectors. Vectors where each vector is a 200 or 300 word chunk which is stored, and when it inputs that query to it changes that query to a vector and then takes it into the knowledge database, what happens is that it searches for all the vectors related to that query, and then it fetches that relation to the user, which then the agent uses to answer to the user. So it is basically a very complicated process. This is what is known as RAG, retrieval augmented generation, which these platforms such as voiceflow and everything has made very easy to do. This again, temperature is how well do you need to convert your query, so it'll act accordingly. Max token, how many tokens you want to generate. Chunk limit, so again, chunk, what I said is this whole information is stored in various chunks, so of around 200 or 300 words, and when you input the chunk limit, it'll identify that how many chunks you want to extract in a single go. So because I want to get the information more accurate, I'll take that chunk limit to 5, and I'll write the system prompt of this embedder. We'll call it as an embedder, and then I'll save it. So this is how this knowledge database works. Going further, these are all the content which we use. These 4 agents, 2 were already in the default. This customer support agent and untitled, I can just delete forever. And we use this tool, untitled API. We use 0 prompts now, but we can write prompts. Prompts is basically just a short form of AI, where you just of AI agent, where you just encode it to a particular task without the hassle of writing the whole code and then looping it back and everything. It is very simple. These messages what we just spoke. Components means that you can create, like we created this workflow to make the process a little bit simpler and organized. You can create a new component where just information agent is there, information workflow is there, and you can connect that workflow to the main workflow, and you can write another component where it only searches for appointment, and then you can connect the appointment to the basic workflow. So these are actually components you can use to organize your workflow even further. Events, and again, events are like button click, email sent, order based, etc. These are short snippets you can output to the user. Variables which we used, again, these are all the variables. If you do not know the branch which we created, we wrote the description and everything. These intents we talked about, entities we talked about. These are the interface means that how your agent will actually appear when it is produced. So this is how it will appear. For example, right now we are building voice agent, so if we had to convert it to chatbot also, we can do that. It is very simple, and this is how the chatbot will look like. And this code is in JavaScript, where you can copy this code and enter it into the whole website code which you have, and then it'll appear as a snippet like this in the website. You can choose the modality info. So right now we have to give the voice agent. So this is how the voice agent will appear. Voice agent full, or you want compact, or you want expanded. This is how it will appear. Compact and expanded. Position, you want right or left or side spacing. This is you can edit it for your own. This font family, which font do you want? This color. Call action, how can I help you? So start a call. So if for example I'm placing it in the RealTooth website, I can write facing problems call us immediately. Simple. Listening text, talk to interrupt, end button. I can in place of this voice flow logo, I can actually import my logo. Real tooth image logo. Open it, and yeah, it will appear like this now. Voice interface. If I click on flow, so now you see if this call is immediately coming, this you can use call us now also. Call us now is also a great facing problems. Call us now. Nice. Text and here for example, sometimes in your website you need to add privacy policy. Here you can first remove powered by voice flow. Here text you can add privacy, and you can use the URL of privacy policy of real2. So if you go on the website, in the down you can click on privacy policy, and you can just copy the entire policy URL and go here and take this URL. Yeah, so this is now. If I click on privacy, it will take me to this privacy policy page of real2 because I'm building it for you. Yeah, so this was it. Telephony, you can import numbers if because of course if you were using it for inbound calling, you need to input a number when you actually use it for production, where the callers will call the real tooth's number, if you will. So I have already have. If I you will have to ask this number from your client only, I guess, because you have to buy from somewhere and you have to pay a fees. This is my Twilio account. I just made this account, so it is a trial account. This is for sample purposes, and if because I searched for country India, in India there is no option for buying a number, but if you go to America, sorry, USA, United States, and the numbers will appear like this. So you can buy any number here. You can for buying a number you have to upgrade your account. When you just sign into your Twilio account, this will be the page which appears to this dashboard, and on this dashboard because I have not upgraded my account, it shows like this. You can have your account SID or token, and this is the Twilio phone number which they give you when you sign up. So this, and you can only have one Twilio phone number. This is the phone number, so I'll copy this phone number and go here and paste here. Twilio account SID, copy here. What token? This one's the name. Give the number a name. So Shivansh's sample. So import. Let's see. Yeah, so it is currently not taking my number because I already have that in use in another agent. Let me just correct it. Yeah, so I disconnected from my agent, and now for my existing agent, now if I import it, just a second. Assign existing number, I have this number, and for choosing the environment, I'll choose production because it's easy to choose. Production development means you are still in development. Actually, what happened was that because in my voice flow this account only, I used this number for another agent, so this phone number was already stored, so that is why it was not allowing me to store another information about the same number. So I choose this number only. For you, I think it will work. There should be no problem. API keys, this is your voice flow API key if you want to connect it to some other place. Going further, you can publish your agent. So if I click on publish, the option was also in the top right corner while we were building the workflow. So after you think your workflow is done and you need to test it, you can just publish it and then call from the number, or you can test from here only. We'll test in the website only. So after publishing, it will show your take your agent live, and you can add agent to your website. Yeah, so I have only published it once, so you can see that V1 is a existing release history, and after I publish it one more time, after I make some changes and then publish it one more time, it will just appear as V2, V3, V4 and so on. These are your transcripts which will appear when you actually test the agent. Analytics, and these are your settings of the agent. So name you can edit, again not a very big deal. Behavior is a thing which you need to check, because here you can either edit for chat, but we are using voice. So now the main thing is that what I did was that I'll integrate it to 11 Labs, because 11 Labs voice are very human like and great. So for my 11 Labs API key, I'll go to 11 Labs. I already have an account here. I'll go to 11 Labs and I'll get my API key. So yeah, I'll just go here and create API key. Navigating through 11 Labs platform is not very hard, and they have a voice agent to navigate you, so you can just ask the voice agent to take me to API settings, and you can create it. So you can add to test and this will only appear when, so I suggest you store it in a safe place. You can copy it to the clipboard and enter here. Save it. So 11 Labs will be connected here, and then you can go to behavior, go to voice, and then click on 11 Labs, and then you can choose these various many voices of 11 Labs already here also. But when you connect your API keys, you'll have a access to a lot of voices. So if I choose any voice, I want to choose an Indian voice or a Hindi voice. Yeah, Hindi moderated. Okay, so because I'm building this agent for an Indian company, and they prefer when the patients talk in Hindi only, so I'll choose Monica Sakamani, which is a Hindi moderated voice. Model I can choose 11 Turbo 2.5 or multilingual model also. Turbo 2.5 will be great, and you can choose background noise also. You can choose office busy or office quiet, or better will be office quiet only. Audio cue is sometimes it will just click the sound, for example this sound or this sound, so it will just play in between, so nothing much. Talking speed you can adjust. If you want the agent to speak a little faster or a little slower, you can adjust it by yourself. Stability means if you increase the stability, the voice will sound more monotonous, it will sound a little bit boring, but what it will speak will be understandable easily. Because it is a information voice agent, I'll just increase the stability up to 0.65, because I want the stability to be more. Adhere to the original voice while attempting to replicate it. And similarity boost, again, how much similar it should be to the original voice, because AI replicates the voice which is already inputted here. Just 2.8. Voice input, by default language should be put it as multilingual. It should be able to speak multilingual. ASR means automatic speech recognition. So recognition accuracy versus response speed. So it basically balance between accuracy and speed. So you want more accuracy or you want more speed. Uh, Latency, here you may have read accuracy improves precision but may increase latency. Latency means the agent speaks the first token and when the user gives the instruction. So time between instruction and the first token is latency. So latency is a bad thing. So if you have to increase latency, it means that the agent will take more time to respond. So if you want accuracy, of course it will take more latency, but if you want speed, less latency. You can just go here and keep it balanced. Endpoint URL is nothing. It after the call, it just transfers to a webhook URL. But we have already used webhook URL inside our agent, so yeah. So basically, these were it. Integrations I've already talked about. AI model. You can choose this for example, this does not work. There's a fallback model. You can choose the fallback model. Environment, which production environment or development environment. There are only two environments. Secrets, you can add some secrets. So for example, someone is building a team, so you can use one secret to another, so for connection purposes. So mainly backups. You can use the v1 for this agent which we created. So this was v1 version history v1. When I'll change, so it will be v2, so you can have backups and everything. So guys, this was it for today's video. I hope you found this content valuable. Please share your valuable feedbacks in the comment section below. This was the first tutorial video I tried, and I saw many people do it before on the YouTube as well, and I thought I should give it a try before, because what I experienced while trying voice agents was not documented in YouTube at all. Like I told before, I tried absolutely all the voice AI making agent available on the market, but none of them seem to work nicely. VoiceFlow achieved almost that kind of purpose. There are few more advancement I would like VoiceFlow to add in the voice AI section as well, like transfer to a call and transfer a call to another number, which platforms like Vappy have. Vappy has a lot of functions, but still, like it was not very user friendly, which I wanted. So yeah, this was it for today's video. Thank you and have a wealthy life ahead.